Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of Porschenomics, a special turbocharged edition, because we're going to be talking about this. This is my 964 Turbo, and Scott here, my new friend from these guys, Unblemished Detailing, are here to detail it and paint correct it.
Absolutely.
Hopefully. So, it's a nice thing. It's 32 years old. It's only done 47,000 miles, and it's, I reckon, probably 8 out of 10, but it needs a little bit of tender loving care, given its age. So we're going to change the bezels, because the bezels, as you'll see, have started to just have a little bit of rust around the edge. We're also going to try and correct the plastic parts of the car. These things here, this, believe it or not, is called a shark fin. I know, and these are about 400 quid plus fitting and painting, so I don't really want to be replacing this thing, but I'm hoping that one way or the other, the genius that is Scott here can correct both sides and some of the other plastic parts of the car to make sure that they are actually the same colour as the paintwork. So let's see. I guess it's going to take a little while. Scott will be here, what, all day?
Yeah, all day, yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
And so, as you'll see, we'll do a bit of time lapse and show you the result at the end. And then this is going off to be photographed on Saturday, our friends at Tower Bridge Studios. And then it's going to an event, which is the fully fueled property networking event that Ed Casson is running at Little Eastern Manor this Sunday. And then I might sell it, believe it or not, but that's a whole different video. Stay tuned. Okay, so as we said earlier on, these things here are starting to get a little bit rusty. These are probably as old as the car, about 32 years old. So I could have taken them off, sent them away to be painted, waited for them to come back, which would have meant that, of course, I couldn't use the car. So I thought instead, what I'll do, I'll buy some new ones and have them painted by the brilliant people at Design 911, take these off and refit them. So, in the spirit of YouTube, on the basis that, as I understand it, unboxing is a thing, apparently. So what I'm about to do, I suspect, is probably going to gain me about 1 million subscribers and about 100 million views, because I'm going to take something out of a box, and it's going to be very exciting indeed. Are we ready? This is said box that I'm opening. Are you ready? Excited? Probably find they're the wrong colour now. Why have you painted them yellow, Design 911? So these are the new Bezels. So, hopefully they'll fit. You don't want me to excite you by doing the other one, I don't suppose. There you go. Porsche 911 964 Turbo Bezels, duly unboxed. Tell your friends. This is where it's at. How exciting. And we'll show you how we fit them as a consequence of this wonderful detailing project going on a bit later on. So Scott, what's this purple thing that I'm hearing about on the car? What was, so you put some chemical on it?
Yeah, so it's an iron fallout remover. Basically
iron fallout. Sounds like a shit war film.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So yeah, it's an iron fallout. There's different names. I use Infinity Wax liquid fire.
So what does it do? So it shows what?
It doesn't show, so it brings out the iron from brake dust mainly. So if you do it on the wheels, it brings it out. And yeah,
so the brake dust that has accumulated on the panels, particularly on cars that have been driven hard, presumably?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it wasn't too bad. It was only a little bit.
Because I drive it nicely.
You don't drive it so hard.
Very meekly.
Yeah, I know you mentioned you had the other 911 that gets a bit driven a
stick.
bit harder, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll have a lot more if you're braking hard. It basically gets embedded in. It's contamination. What we don't want is to be polishing and get that between the pad and the paint. And then you're sort of just moving it around and swirling the paint up, do more damage really than good. So
in other words, the brake dust comes off under braking over a period of time, embeds on the paint, and then if you don't take it off, you then start machine polishing it, and you grind those iron filings effectively even further into the paintwork.
Absolutely, yeah. And the other one would be tar. So yeah, we've done a tar decontamination as well. Just melts the tar off, wipes away. On this car, it wiped away. Other situations, you probably have to clay bar, but because of the quality of it.
There's clearly a lot more to detailing a car than I'd thought, that's for sure. It's quite a process, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's a lot that goes into it. Lots of people think we just turn up and...
with a bucket and a sponge.
A bucket and a sponge and wipe it over. No, but we've been there it's taken sort of 2 hours to fully sort of prepare it, ready for polishing, yeah.
And John, kind of on a side note, what I'm fascinated by is the amount of people that seem to have their new cars detailed because they come out the factory and need correction. Is that a thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
So in other words, instead of just thinking about old cars, so I'm having this done, 32 years old. Although it's been fairly well looked after, it kind of makes sense to kind of bring it to be the best car it can, even though it's 30 years old.
Yeah.
But cars that are literally out the factory, off the production line, you would deal with, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. I see a lot of cars, brand new, especially darker cars. They're new, but they've been sitting around for a long time. They've been shipped over from places, probably washed once or twice, and the paint's good, but we can make it better. We can bring out a more depth. And obviously the protection as well. So a lot of the new car detailing is in the ceramic coating over the top.
Right, got it. Which doesn't come as standard from any manufacturer, presumably.
No, it doesn't come as standard. And some offer it. They're not the best, I would say. I'm not going to say they're...
Who's the worst, Scott?
No,
I've got to ask. Who's the worst manufacturer for crap ceramic?
It's not the manufacturers. It's the brands themselves. The
dealer groups, you mean? The dealer
groups, yeah. So they're the products they use are probably okay. I've never used them,
but not up to your standard. Is what you're saying.
Not,
he's been very diplomatic, isn't he?
It's the way they're applied. I think we sort of spend all day doing it. They sort of can be done in a couple of hours of their sort of thing. So it's it's a different level, really. But,
so the upshot is, and look, by the way, I'm not being paid by this guy. I've literally found him on Instagram and thought I want to start getting my cars detailed. Because obviously the weather's now going to get better, so I'm going to use them more. Absolutely. But also I'm starting to consider whether I'm going to sell some or all of them to buy other stuff. And it's pretty clear that I think whether you've got a new car that's worth six figures or a lot of money, or an older classic, investing in detailing, I mean, genuinely is a really sensible thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an asset, really, isn't it?
Investing in it.
You've invested in something.
And why wouldn't you want it? Why wouldn't you want it to look the best it possibly could?
Absolutely,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, there finishes the ad for Unblemished Detailing. Wasn't intended to be, but look, I buy into it. Obviously, I'm going to pay you today, whatever it ends up being, on the basis that I want my car to look, the best it can. Particularly as I've got a few things planned for it. So, okay, onwards and upwards.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll crack on.
Cheers, guys. Until the next bit. Right, so that's it, the end of a marathon 7-hour day, a 7-hour clean. Scott here's finished with the turbo. Scott, so what have we done then? Talk us through it.
Yeah, started off with safe wash, and then full decontamination as well. So that's to get iron fallout remover we spoke about earlier, and the tar. Not a lot on there, but it needs doing before we polish.
Yeah.
Towel dried and blow dried, get rid of all the waters, and then single stage enhancement basically to start off with. So it's a full single stage machine polish, and then the ceramic coatings. We've laid down a 3-year ceramic coating. It's just out now curing, so
which will protect it from UV and
UV.
Road film.
It's hydrophobic as well, so all the water beading, bird poos, UV lights, anything that's going to sort of damage your car is sort of protected against. So
Cool. So that's the outside. On the inside?
Inside, again, it was nice. So never been cleaned. Mats have just had, shampooing and then a general tidy up.
Yeah. You've got to get a load of these stripes, Tom. You've seen. It's just a nice finishing touch.
Just a nice finishing touch. Yeah, it just makes it look nice.
Yeah.
It's
good. All right. So it's in good order.
Overall, really happy with it.
Yeah. No, good. And yeah, ready for the spring, ready for a bit of photography at the weekend and a show or two. And I'll be using it a lot, I think, over the next few weeks and months. Unless it goes, unless I sell it. But look, Scott, thank you very, very much indeed from Unblemished. Yeah, let's see what happens and see if we do another one, because I may well do, I think, in terms of making sure that your car's in tip-top nick. So, yeah, great. And I really appreciate your help today. Thank you. It's been a long one, but thorough's good, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Good. All right. Cheers, guys. Until the next episode of Porschenomics.